Hi, I already did this video on Brexit that I'm going to publish, but I wanted to give people a heads up that I'm really struggling with allergies today, and I think you can see that as you watch the video because I'm leaving out words and maybe there's some half sentences. So I just want to let people know, fill in what you think makes sense. That's probably what I meant to say. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just let it be as is, because I don't think the allergies are going to get any better later on, and I really want to get this video out. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Melissa, your free range psychic, and today I am going to attempt a reading on Brexit. I don't choose the tarot cards in the usual way. I ask my spirit guides to show me the cards psychically. I pick them out of the deck and then I ask them why they chose those cards. So this is something I have, cursorily looked at it. It's very confusing to me, but I think it's probably confusing to everybody. I use a simple Celtic cross as a layout. So this deal, there was an election in the United Kingdom to decide whether or not to stay as part of the European Union or to leave. And that causes all kinds of consequences economically and, immigration-wise and identity-wise. I assume it's a huge to extract England from the European Union. So this is the subject card. This is Brexit. Absolute catastrophe, absolute chaos. Damaging England, damaging the EU, European Union. Also damaging the government, dividing people, dividing cultures. And this is the intent of it. The intent of Brexit and the reason that it came to be was to do this. It was an attack, an aggressive attack, as if in war, but instead of war in the usual way that we see it with troops attacking, etc., it was an internal attack, but from an external source. So the devil, which is above, is Putin. This was something that was engineered by Putin and the Russian government behind the scenes, with help from people like Steve Bannon, Boris Johnson, I believe Theresa May too. Just like here, Trump is taking his orders from Putin. The people who were leading the Tory party, Prime Minister, both May and Johnson, were carrying out Putin's orders. And how ingenious, really, to think about this, to bring this about with the intent of destroying the government, English government from within, and also to damage the coherency, the strength of the European Union that developed after World War II, and is a strong front against the Soviet, what once was and is becoming again, or I think that is the goal of Vladimir Putin, the Soviet Union. He wants to recreate that. So this is really a strike of war, but it's done internally and covertly, but the results are extremely damaging. In the recent past, this was how it was done. This was how it was carried out, like a heist, lying to the British people, creating this false narrative that it was within their best interest to leave Brexit. And they did this through social media and other forms of, I'm sure through Rupert Murdoch's papers and the general media, but like our 2016 election, they really utilized Facebook, and they fearmongered and they lied and created this urge that was really emotionally driven to push through Brexit. And I believe too that probably there was a lot of falsification of the results to get this passed through, because this was a psych op, and also this was an act of war, covert cyber war. Underneath is a hangman, so this is things really not going smoothly for this deal, this no deal Brexit that Boris Johnson wants, which if there was no deal, it would ensue absolute chaos and confusion and destroy the English economy even more. But it's being hung up because the government itself is fighting back, and he's losing. Boris Johnson, which he's what England's Trump, another orange one, is losing more and more support. So things are at a really slowed down with no real idea of what the end result is. There's intense talks right now in Europe with England regarding figuring out some kind of deal, because it affects immigration, it affects the banks, it affects the businesses, the farms, everything, because this is a deal that it has to do with severing, the current economic structure, and even the social and political structure of what the European is or was, with England included in that. But it is hung up. It's there's deadlines, but they're not certain about what happens after those deadlines. And Boris Johnson keeps on saying, well, we want a no deal Brexit. It's going to go through no matter what. But he doesn't have absolute power. So there are people trying to prevent the absolute chaos and destruction that a no deal Brexit would bring about. In the near future, Knight of Pentacles, this card confused me. I asked my guides, well, what does this mean? They say this is Boris Johnson. This is to do with a no deal Brexit. And behind, because I asked for a clarifying card for this card particularly, because I didn't quite get it. And they say this is his relationship with Putin. So he is carrying out Putin's instructions. He's being told what to do by Putin, and he's just waiting on his instructions to see what am I going to do now? What's the next thing? Because he is a soldier for Putin, and he's just waiting for his orders, and he's going to do whatever it takes to please his master, to be a good soldier, to do his job, even though it seems counterintuitive to everybody else. But if it's counterintuitive, it doesn't make any sense. It's illogical and irrational. Because the other thing is that he very well may lose his leadership. And it's probably very likely, because there's talk of a general election. If the Brexit deal does not make its deadline. But he doesn't care about that as much as he cares about doing what he needs to do for Putin, because this is the absolute ruler. And I know I've used this card for both Boris Johnson and for Vladimir Putin, but it does represent both. But the hierarchy would be Putin over Boris. The clarifying card, this also confused me, but my guides say to read it with the outcome card. This is Brexit. It just really means Brexit. Brexit being England holding onto its own resources, not joined with any other country. This is mine. You can't have it. That was part of the psych ops. Convincing a lot of the British that they were better off just being isolated on their own, keeping their things. What's mine is mine. and somehow everybody else wanted it and they were losing out, etc., but which was not the case. At least, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm not British, and I'm not an expert in their policies, etc. But on the whole, this was either amped up their worries or total lies. But this is the outcome card. The outcome card, death. So this is not going to work. That's what they're saying. That even if Brexit did go through, it's very short-lived, because this is really the end of Boris, and not just Boris Johnson, but the end of this attempt. There's going to be a huge sea change in British politics, and it'll bring the Labour and progressive and also now probably Tories who are absolutely appalled and in revolt against the policies of May and Johnson. And they want to bring England back to some kind of integrity and viability. So death comes in and ends this attempt. So this aggression, this act of war, was extremely damaging, but it is not victorious in the end. Putin wanted victory, but he likes whatever damage he can bring. He feels he's the underdog, but he also has grandiosity, where he feels he is the most intelligent and most powerful person on earth. He's got the devil on his side, but just like any good sociopath or narcissist, they do feel that they're always victims, and so they're always entitled to do whatever means are necessary to bring their opponents down. It doesn't matter who they destroy. It doesn't matter. In fact, the more suffering, the better. It makes them feel more powerful. So there you go. That is what my guides say about Brexit. We'll see what happens. So they have their own Trump. They have their own catastrophes going on because of this cyber psyop war that has been waged by Russia. Interesting reading. I am sorry if I garbled it. Again, I'm not an expert on Brexit, and but that is what my guides say about it. I got an oracle card given to us from our guides. Our guides. I say our guides because we all have our own guides, but we also there's a commonality amongst all of the angelic spirits. They're all in unison in terms of spiritually, the evolutionary path we're taking, what their intent is, etc. So the guides chose this card, and this is from the Messenger Oracle deck by Ravynne Phelan. Stay strong. Well, I have a lamp behind me, or in front of me, I should say. I want to get it out of the way so that you can see this card. There we go. Stay strong. I can't seem to get the light out of it. I think you can see it. Looks like it's a dragon. Life will present you with many trials. Life will bring you times of joy, but also times of suffering. Like the weather, it can be unpredictable, harsh and cruel. But you can endure all that comes. Know when to resist and know when to let go. Know that sometimes you will lose, but the loss can make you stronger at the core. Stay strong. With hope and faith, you can endure all. So they are telling us to stay strong because we are still going through this crazy, wild ride of a time. It feels sometimes like a nightmare that just doesn't end, but it will end. And we are getting stronger, spiritually stronger, psychologically stronger, mentally stronger. We are probably stronger than we ever thought we could be because of what we are enduring. So stay strong and it will pass. Better things are coming. Saying that, I always remind people that I am how do I say this? That I'm a psychic. You already know that, but what I really meant to say was that I do personal readings, past life readings, things that are going on in your present life, things from the past in this life, and what's coming in the future. I can do mediumship, so I can get in touch through my guides with your ones who have passed, and we can also check to see if they've made their transition. And if not, I through my guides can help. Or actually, what I like to do is do it with with you. Pass over that spirit who hasn't passed, if that's the case. And I love to introduce people to their guardian angels. We can do all of that I shouldn't say all of that, but we can attempt to do as much as possible within the hour. I don't parse out, different prices or whatever for certain types of reading. We just do whatever we can in the time allotted. So I'm going to leave my information below. You can text me, you can email me, you can check out my Sacred Fire Psychic Readings Facebook page and get in touch with me that way. Please like and subscribe to this video and share it so that it can get wider distribution. I would love that. It is Saturday, October the 12th, 2019, and all hell is breaking loose with the Ukrainian stuff. Truly, 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 the tower is ruling those people. Boom! Right? This is like so much fallout. It's going to get more and more and more and more. My guides say that this is just really, get out the popcorn because this is not all of it. It's just so much is going to come out. So much is going to break. I hope everybody finds some, in spite of all this excitement, which is surely I'm going to be glued to the news too regarding this. But find some peace, find some joy, find some laughter. Find time to really appreciate the beautiful month of October, be it fall or spring, whatever side of the hemisphere you're on. It's always important to realize we are spirits in a human body, and both are sacred. Not just spirit, but the body also. The body is the temple for the spirit, right? And we live on a temple. We live on Gaia, on the earth, and the earth is also a spirit. I will be back soon with another video. Until then, take care, everybody. Oh, it's, I think I already said it's October the 12th, 2019, just to be oriented in time and space. But whenever you see this, I love you. Take care.